So you can really see how this, whether you're an early releaser or you want to get shaft lean, maybe you're over the top, too much from inside, face open, face closed, you can use this to actually fix any of those issues. Hey golfers, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to talk about how an impact bag, I'm sure you've seen them, and a lot of people don't actually know what to do with them. So in today's video, we're going to talk about no matter your swing issue, we're going to go through a few different issues that you might be having and how you can use this as a perfect training aid or drill station to start to fix your golf swing. Okay guys, so before we get started, if you could, please don't forget to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Really helps this little channel out, and thank you so much. So let's get started. So whether you're an over-the-top player, slicing to the right, hooking to the left, getting too much inside, early release is a big one we can do with this, or you want to create that shaft lean, well, this can really help you. And they're fairly inexpensive. You can probably pick them up on Amazon for not that much money. And we're going to talk today about what to do with it depending on the fault that you have in your golf swing. So let's start with the big one, the shaft lean, because this is a really important thing that we all must kind of achieve in our golf swing. But how do we get there? What are we supposed to do? Well, this can really help us out. Okay, so if we put this bag in front of us, kind of where the golf ball would be, and sometimes when I'm doing it, I'll keep a ball there. One thing I must stress, when you're using an impact bag, there can be a real urge to absolutely smash it as hard as you can, and that's not what it's about. Think of it as educating your body. We don't need to hit this thing flying across the room. We're literally going to be getting the feeling of hitting it, but more of a tap than anything, because it's learning how to get the positions that we want. So we're going to discuss you early releasers first, the guys at the top of the backswing who get here, release these angles early, and by the time you get to the golf ball, there's scooping going on, the shaft's more behind the ball, and we're adding loft and maybe some poor contact as well. Okay, so what we do, we set up, as I say, a ball here. You're going to hover above the ball because you really want to impact kind of the middle of the bag. And what you're going to do is get to the top of the backswing and feel what it's like to come down, rest against the bag with your hands in front. Now, absolute necessity here, what you do not want to do is come in with the hands forward, and if you can notice the difference, that club face has no chance. It's wide open, okay? And this is the real thing why people can't really get that shaft lean at impact, is because when they're coming down, this motion of having the handle more ahead typically opens the club face. See that? So we kind of go, yeah, I'm going to go and work on getting some shaft lean and maybe some shanks and shots way off to the right. No good. So we have to make sure that we're putting the club, the leading edge of the club, flush to the bag that way. Okay, now if you're doing this and you're coming into impact, doing this slow, and you're noticing that your club face is like that, about a foot from the bag, you don't want to try and just square it up in the last instance. That means that when you start your transition, that club face is opening. So you need to start to feel, how do I get it back down to where it's more square, or looking at the golf ball in this position, so you can just continue to come through and tap it, keep those hands ahead. Okay, now when you get a feel for it, you go top, down slow, leading edge flush, weights on our left, hands are in front face square. Brilliant. Okay, sounds like a lot, but once you get the hang of it, and I'll just kind of build this up from here to there, making sure face was square. Knock it back. You see, as I do this, it's just moving a little bit. Check it. That's good. And again, there. You notice these are only little half swings. You don't need to be here absolutely smashing that thing. Okay, I know some of them are called smash bags, but literally you're educating the wrist. As I say, if you notice your club face is open here, that's no good, because you can't now try and square that up. As I do that, the handle's going to work back. Needs to be more kind of closed in that position. Okay, guys? So let's look at some other things that you can do with this. I mean, there's loads. I could probably do a few videos on this, but let's say you are a golfer with an open face or a closed face. Let's see how this could help us out. Okay, so open face first and then closed face. You'll see how it kind of simple and they both kind of work together. Open face, what type of shots would you experience? Slices to the right, blocks to the right, generally the ball missing to the right. And for the closed face, the opposite. Okay, so remember, using this training aid, we are not really doing full swings. We're not, as I said, we're not smashing this smash bag, right? Open face first. You come down, we're going to here. Naturally, the face would be more this way, pointed to the right of target, okay? So as that is your pattern, what you're going to want to do is reverse that. So very subtly, I want you to set up to the impact bag with the face and everything square. And what you're going to do is get the feeling of what it would be like to let the toe arrive at the bag before the heel, okay? So a couple of small swings. Letting the toe arrive first, obviously reversing your tendency to have that club face open. This is going to give you nice awareness of the face and what it's doing. And you're going to do this a few times. Toe in first. Not massive. I mean, I'm not suggesting that you need to whip the club over and get the toe in like this, but just a little bit more toe leading the heel, okay? And then what I would do is, if you are a right shot player, I would then go and hit a couple of soft shots on the range and get the feeling of what that feels like, and actually look for the ball to go to the left, okay? 50, 60 yards, swing, feel that toe a little bit in front, and you should see the ball start to go more to the left, and you'll feel more conscious of getting that face squared up a little bit sooner in the downswing, okay? Now, open face player, the same thing, just have to reverse it. Impact bag, rest against it. Closed face player is going to be this way. Ball's going left, start left, draw left, or just hooks, things like that. We're going to go and feel a little bit of the heel arriving first, okay? And be careful. It's not that I'm saying you need to go like this and try and come into the bag that way. Just feel that face a little bit more open, okay? Then reverse it, go back, hit a couple of shots, and see if you can then hit some soft ones, get the ball to launch to the right, okay? So we're fixing our club face with that. And if you aren't suffering with an open or a closed face and you're okay, or maybe you have a two-way miss, well, still do this drill, because what it's going to do is give you awareness of where the face points, closed, open, and then obviously that makes it much easier to get that club face in the square position, because you've just felt the two other ones. I think one of my very first YouTube videos, I talked about this. And we get the feeling of that club face coming in nice and square, okay? So another thing that we can do with this is fix our club path. So if you are a out to in player, in to out too much, hooks, other one would be slices, well then you can start to work on your path with this impact bag. So let's take a look at that. Okay, number one, the over the top player, okay? We commonly know that. I did a video there recently on over the top, and that is when we get here and the path goes left, typically slicing the golf ball. So watch what would happen to this bag as I do that. You'll actually see, if I really exaggerate, I could make the bag spin this way, very slightly anyway. So here, I'll do a harder one this, but I don't suggest you do this in case you break your wrist. So here, and I can make the bag spin that way. That's your, say, slice on the golf ball. Okay, that's the out to in open face. All right, so how do we fix that problem and get the club coming down more from the inside and fix the over the top using the impact bag? Well, do you notice on my bag here there's a kind of a target. Now what I want to do, obviously that's kind of at the target here, that way. So if I was able to move that more this way and still set up normal, but think coming down, I want to hit that target that way. See how I've moved that? So starting normal, feel the change of direction. If you watch my back to the target video, you'll kind of get that sensation as you do this here in that way, and that will really help your path. Okay, so guess what? From the club face drill, if you can get it closed and get the toe into the bag a little bit first, plus actually feel this, you're going to be hitting draws. Okay, now let's take somebody who is a hooker of the ball. It's much less common to see this, but what we would do is get the sensation then of the target. We're going to angle it this way because your hooker is going to be too much in here, too shallow, probably a lot of sort of flip release, ball curving a lot to the left. So we're going starting on the middle of the bag, feeling, hitting the outside that way. Okay, really good drill. This thing is brilliant. When I first got one, kind of didn't really know what to do with it, to be honest, but as I started to learn and think, well, based on the ball flight that I'm having or the swing issue I'm having, I can use this to my advantage and actually manipulate it and learn to educate my hands and arms, how to get the face square with shaftling, all of that stuff. So it is a really cool thing. And plus, as we're, well, anybody in the northern hemisphere, we're in our winter months. It's something you can definitely do at home if you have a home setup or even just without a ball. Get the feeling for it, okay? So guys, thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments if you enjoyed this video. And if you could, before we go, please don't forget to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. See you guys soon.